Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Retro Alliance Gaming. So today we are going to be talking about the reveal of the new Google video game system. Okay, hold on, let me gather this together. I'm trying to be unbiased in this situation, but I also have to just state the facts. This isn't some highly edited video. It's supposed to be funny. It's me trying to get into this. Now, I was already skeptical when I initially heard about this because I've kind of noticed a trend in the way that video games are going in the modern era. And unfortunately, what I have to say is that my worst fears have actually come about. Now, I'm going to be very curious to hear all of your guys' views on this, especially with the age demographic. But I'm going to go ahead and get started really quick. So, Google has been teasing this system for a while. You saw I made a video before. They said they have these huge developers and all these big people signing up for it. And we've been waiting for this reveal because, as we all know, Google is a huge company. I mean, they are so rich. They own YouTube. They freaking own everything. So these guys really, if they wanted to, could put something together that could be fantastic. The question is, will it be? Another question is, how is this going to split us? Is it going to be something that we're used to or something that's going to change? Somewhere deep down in my little tiny brain, I had a small, itsy, tiny, bitty bit of hope that it might be a traditional console that took discs or physical media, and I am sorry to say that is not the case. So, from the part that I've watched, which have nauseated me a little bit, let me try to lay this out for you. Google is doing a streaming service. This streaming service is supposed to provide games to everybody around the world. The thing with this is you're not having a physical console. You could have their controller, their Google controller, which they show it. I'll show up in the corner. Or you can plug in any USB controller and use any one that you want. With this service, what they're doing is they basically said that games are getting so far ahead that consoles and hardware cannot keep up with it. The technology can't keep up with it. And so what they're doing is, instead of giving us a console, they're using their central computing hub. So imagine, if you will, the giant room full of high technology and computers. They did a comparison with the PS4 and the Xbox One, showing the different teraflops that each one of them has, and basically pointed out that they are capable of doing something like 10.2 gigaflops of memory, something in that range. I could be slightly off. The way that they're going to go ahead and do this is people, and we don't have all the information, will be signing up for a streaming service. We don't know whether it's going to be a monthly thing where it's going to cost you like a subscription fee, and we also don't know anything about games.
Thanks for the bless you.
Bless you. Sorry, honey. We don't know anything about games, and when you do pay for this streaming service, we don't know if you have to purchase each individual game that you're getting on top of it, or if you're just paying for a service and you're going to be receiving all these games. There's a lot of questions that are up in the air. What they want to do is they're kind of doing what Nintendo was going for with the Switch, but they are going all out. They want to provide games where you don't have to worry about downloading them, you don't have to worry about updating them, and you can play them anywhere on the go. Now, this sounds freaking great when you think about it, right? So, for example, I'm sitting here and I'm on my phone, I'm on the TV and I'm playing a video game. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I switch it over to my phone, instantaneously loads. I move exactly from the point I was at on the TV to the phone, and I'm playing there. Well, then I take off, and maybe I want to play on something bigger, so I grab my tablet, and now I'm playing on my tablet. Again, no download speeds whatsoever, and it's supposed to be completely fluent and keep you exactly where you are in the game. They are also saying that with this, it's going to be able to do 1080p 4K natively, and in the future it's going to go up to 8K, so they're really pushing the technology. They're also talking a lot about streaming services in the way that you're going to be able to do it for YouTube. So for example, if you're playing a game, they're like, instead of having to look up a walkthrough on your phone or open up a book, you could simply press a button on the controller, it will recognize the game you're playing, and you could have it pull up on the side of the screen an exact walkthrough of where you're going to. They also said that you're going to be able to have 10,000 times more players than you would be able to with any of the other platforms, PlayStation or Xbox. So everybody around the world, instead of it being hundreds of people, there will be literally thousands of people online playing at the same time. Okay, so all of this sounds really good so far, right? You're thinking about it, it sounds really advanced and it sounds super cool. There's a few issues. I'll get into my personal issues, but let's get into some technical issues. First thing is going to be your internet connection. To stream 4K with your Wi-Fi, you're going to have some freaking awesome internet. I don't know if they have something that they have set up through their hub that's supposed to make it run smoother, because I know everything's supposed to be kind of like preloaded with no loading, and I think that's what they're going for. But I assume that you're still going to have really good internet to run this, and especially if you're trying to run it at those speeds. So they probably have something up their sleeve, but I can't see this running incredibly smoothly from the TV to the phone to leaving to you name it. This is what they're going for. They have huge developers that are coming in on this, okay? So I believe they have Square Enix. I think they have them. They have ID Software, id Software. They have Crystal Dynamics. There is a ton of people and a ton of teams, and they have sent out thousands of dev kits. This is no joke. Now, here is where my concern comes into play, okay? This is trying to get rid of all physical media. When Xbox tried to do that when they were at launch and they started saying we're going to do digital games only, and then they're like we can't do used games and we can't do this, and now Xbox is bringing out the console that has no disc. These companies have been trying to push towards digital media, and Google has the resources, the power, and the money to be able to actually do something like this. If this was a regular company or something like Atari with their VCS box or some random company that came out, I wouldn't even worry. But with Google, I have to admit, it's got me a bit nervous. This is a huge company, and I believe that what they are doing is going to change gaming forever, and not in a good way. And that is if this manages to succeed, okay? They will get rid of all physical media. You will not be buying a disc. You will not be going to a store. You won't even be stepping outside of your house. You're going to be sitting in front of one screen, moving to another screen, and moving to another. And I absolutely do not approve of this, and I do not like this at all. Now, I know people are going to be saying, okay, you have to get with the times. You got to move forward. This is where games are going. I get that, but I don't have to accept that. Physical media is important in so many ways that so many people don't understand. When I was talking to my buddy Javier over at the Gamers Attic, he told me that he always tried to get his kid into the old school stuff like Nintendo, all the old systems, and he told me that he basically didn't get it. He didn't understand the need for physical media and these old games, and instead he downloads everything digitally and plays it. The thing you got to recognize is that we are all becoming dinosaurs. I'm a dinosaur at my age. People who grew up in the NES, Atari era, the PlayStation era, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, PS2, and Xbox, we are all becoming the dinosaurs because all of these kids that are up and coming right now, they are all used to everything being digital in their lives, and everything for them has been instant gratification. They don't understand the concept of physical media and why it's important. They don't understand the sentimentality of it. They do not understand the monetary value of it whatsoever either. That's another thing that bothers me. Think about this. What these companies are doing is they are basically giving us games as cheap as they possibly can. They don't have to manufacture. They don't have to send us anything. They don't have to sign up with stores to get their games in it. They don't have to do anything but get developers and push games onto a digital screen. But for the consumer, what are we doing? We are sitting here and buying a game, maybe at full price, or having to pay a service every single month, and we have nothing physical or tangible in our hands. I can't bring this game to my friend's house. I can't resell it. I can't keep it and look at it for value. One thing that I want to point out is whenever I was a kid, let me try to get this game out, okay? And I used to buy a game. One of the most exciting things about it was, first off, getting up and going to the store, okay? With older technology, you were forced to go out. Think about things like Blockbuster Video when you want to rent a movie, right? You got out, you interacted, you made conversations with the people at the video game store. It was really fun. I remember getting to know people so well there. We were like best friends. You're picking out movies for movie night. It was all interaction. If you're going to buy a game at GameStop or anywhere you go, you're interacting with people, or you're going to the launch and you're standing in line and you're getting excited. And then when you get home, like one thing that we used to do even back in the day with these games is I would get home and I would unwrap the game. I would open it up. I get emotional when I'm even talking about this. And the first thing I would do is I would take out the book, something I could hold. And we kind of had this thing in our house where we read through everything, how to play the game, all the stories, and it was part of the magic of video games. And when I was done, I would put the book in, pop out my beautiful cartridge, put it in my Genesis, and so forth and so on, PlayStation and everything else. And it was an amazing experience. I can take this game anywhere I wanted to. I could put it on the shelf. I can look at it for memories and all the emotions and time that went into it, and I would be so happy to have it. With this kind of technology, this is gone. All of this is gone. The monetary value, the sentimental value, the stuff that we did as kids, none of it will exist anymore. And I think there's an even bigger problem with this. This video is going to kind of go off into other things, but I feel that in the age of technology, that we are in, it is pushing people further and further apart. In the video that they put up, they put up something, for me it sounds like propaganda, but they put up something that says, bring everybody together. People have been playing games for hundreds of years. I might even put a clip in here. And now we found out a way to get everybody together. Instead of 100 people, there's thousands. And they make it like this whole huge family of people are being connected. But the truth is, we're actually being disconnected. We're not being connected. It's disconnecting everybody. A lot of kids that grew up in the 90s or growing up, or who were born in the 90s, are growing up in an era where everything is digital. And especially nowadays, in the 2000s, for sure, they don't know the meaning of going out to Blockbuster. They don't know the meaning of any of this. Everything has become instant gratification. You want to watch a movie, click on Netflix. You want to buy a game, download it here. Anything you could want to do. You want to date somebody, no need to go out, get on an app and do it. I think that these kind of technologies that we're pushing towards are unhealthy, and they are separating people further and further away. A lot of these kids, I think personally, start getting social anxiety, and they don't want to leave their houses as much. And I also feel that this hurts them for the future, going out, talking to people, getting jobs, interviewing, all the things that we did growing up, scraping our knees, falling off of bikes, running around, talking to people and interacting, that makes our personalities grow. I feel like this is being diminished by a screen and technology, and this is not a good idea, because that fosters a lot of issues, including depression. I know I'm getting really deep into this, but I swear to you, if you think about it, it's the absolute truth. Video still playing?
Yes.
Okay. This is the absolute truth of the road that we are going down, and I don't like it. There is a billion reasons why I don't like this. Now, here's the gig. Are they going to make this successful? There's a very good chance. Google is wow big. If this becomes successful, they can take over Switch, they can take over PS4, they can take over Xbox, and then all those consoles will have to start moving towards their direction, and then everything will become digital. There is a actual scary chance, and I'm sweating, and I'm a little bit nervous about this. But one thing I want to point out is that if we all get up and we speak by not buying into this and not putting our wallets into this, then we can tell them, because you know what? We may be dinosaurs. Maybe we're dying out and this is a new era. Maybe that's the gig. I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of it is really cool, but the non-physical media and taking away the personality of people getting together is a big part that bothers me, especially the physical media. Us dinosaurs who want these physical games, who want to go out and interact, who still want Blockbuster, who wanted all these different things, we matter. And we can step up and we can speak by not purchasing into something like this. And this is just what my personal opinion comes from. I want to know what you guys think about this. There's a lot more details that I don't know about this. I'm not trying to attack Google. I'm not trying to do a smear campaign. I'm not trying to do any of that stuff. But I am 1000% against non-physical media. And I do not like where our technology is going. I do not like where we're heading in gaming. And I'm sad to say that if the day comes where everything's digital, I might not even play modern games anymore, and if I do, I'm going to be pretty sad having to download a game on a subscription-based fee and not be able to hold it or not be able to actually play it. You know what I mean? This is going to be crazy. And one other thing I want to point out is if those networks shut down or your internet shuts down or they have a problem with their central hub, you will not be playing any of these games. We are at the beck and call of this company now. We can no longer take a game and plug it in and play it when we want to. We get to play it when they say we get to play it. And that is how this works. Anyways, guys, so as for this Google partnership...
Did you mention the potential of losing all the games?
That's another thing, in case I didn't mention it. There's a potential of losing all these games. This is exactly what I was saying now. We could lose all of these games, all this money and investment, or what happens when our membership drops? Do we not
your
own
account or blackouts?
Yeah, or
like
there's
that.
blackouts, or what happens if we are a membership? If we don't have a membership, it's speculation, you know. And then what? We can't play the games anymore, or you get hacked, or there's so many things that could happen with this. I just don't trust it. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave it at that. The last note I just want to say is when I look at all of these games that I'm holding in my hand, they mean the world to me, and I may be considered a dinosaur, but you know what? I will pick this over some digital Google service any freaking day of the week. So, please comment below. Let me know what you think. Am I old? Am I stupid? Am I overthinking it? This is just my opinion. I would actually love to know your guys' opinion. This will be the last video I'll probably be doing on this subject. But yeah, all we can do is really hope for the best. It's a really cool concept, but I think they're just going about it the wrong way. Anyways, guys, that is all for today. I appreciate you watching. Please stay tuned for some really awesome videos that are still coming up. As I said, the Horror Corner, Return of the Living Shenmue, our biggest skit we've ever done, and it's going to be freaking awesome. And as always, my friends, until next time.